Well, thanks for taking the time to check out another video here. In this video, what we're going to be looking at is the Devil's Kettle. You see it right here. It's north of Duluth, actually just up on by the Canadian border in between Grand Portage and Grand Marais, Minnesota. And I remember going to this when I was a kid. I remember there's kind of a bit of a mystery revolving around this one, where essentially it's the Brule River, which you see here, actually splits into two, and at the Devil's Kettle, half the river disappears, which is represented here by this image. So half the river continues on the right here, flows on into Lake Superior. The other half of that river splits off, goes down into this crevice, never to be seen again. Some speculation is it might come out in China. That's what I heard as a kid. Other people think that it might come out into Lake Superior, but nobody really knows for sure until recently. Supposedly that has been solved. So we'll talk more about that as we go here. So also something to note here is right here, the Nanabuji Lodge and Restaurant. Kind of a cool place, cool history. This at one time was all part of one piece. So we'll talk about more on that towards the end. We'll also talk about this mystery being solved. All right, so here we are entering the state park. Kind of the cool thing about pretty much all these state parks up here on the North Shore is starting in Duluth and going all the way up to the Canadian border is the Superior hiking trail. So it's a trail for hiking, camping, backpacking that essentially goes up the entire North Shore, and all these state parks on the North Shore. At the back of the state parks, it meets up with this hiking trail. So this is one of those parks that does that as well. Kind of the interesting history behind this one is back in 1929, this property was actually purchased by the Nanabuju Club, which is kind of a higher end, ritzy type of club, or at least that was the plan, where they were to open golf course, tennis courses, and so on, to kind of cater to the wealthy who would come up here on vacation. Well, they actually purchased this property in July in 1929, and we all know what happened in 1929, the Great crash. So they bought this property, built the Nanabuji Club in 1929, crashed in October of 29, and that was pretty much the end of it. And then it was actually sold to the state in 1934. And when the state bought it, they opened a transient camp. And as you go up and down the North Shore, there's a lot of work that's been done, a lot of rock walls, retaining walls. You'll see a lot of that work done too in the Gooseberry Falls area, which will be another video coming out. So all these men, essentially, that didn't have any work, that didn't have any money, it gave them somewhere to go and make money by working for the state. So actually on this site, there's like 14 barracks for housing. There's dining halls, old bakeries, rec halls, bathhouses, all this stuff. And of course, back then, just like throughout histories, everything did burn down. So there's still the foundations are still in place. So they are there to be seen, but obviously in this video we're there in the winter, so we're not able to see that. And as we're hiking through here, there's actually about 3 feet of snow. So if you get off the trail, you're getting in there pretty deep. So we actually have we had stopped in Grand Marais. We got some boot spikes. Okay, they're like these rubber pieces that go right down to the bottom of your shoes, so it makes it so you're not going to be slipping around. Okay, we did run into some people hiking in there with snowshoes, which is not really needed unless you're planning on getting off the trail, or unless you're one of the first ones to break ground after a significant snowfall. So now on this walk, you're basically walking alongside the Brule River the whole way. So it's really neat scenery. A lot of cliffs, a lot of drop downs. It's a fine hike for kids, I would say. It's not a bad hike until you actually get to the falls. So one thing with these falls is when the transient camp was in place and the work that they did, they had actually originally had built a stairway down to the falls. There's like 200 stairs. So, I mean, if you're not able to climb stairs, probably not the place to go, because it's a long climb down and it's a long climb back up. So it is really a good workout.
It said 200 sets of stairs. Remember? Well, I'll be getting down there quick at least. Yeah. If you stay to the left or right, it might be easier too, instead of the middle.
So now, as far as the illusion of the falls here, what the DNR found out back in 2017, they kind of think they have it figured out. Still a little bit of a mystery, we'll see. But essentially, the river itself, as I said at the beginning, splits off. Okay, the piece on the left goes down a cavern, the part on the right continues over the falls. So what hasn't been done, which blew my mind, is there's never been really any water gauging equipment that's been involved in this. So what the DNR did is on the top of the falls, they added some water gauging equipment essentially to measure the amount of water that's going over the falls, and then downstream they did the same to measure the amount of water that's coming off the falls. So what they discovered is on the top of the falls, the flow was about 123 cubic feet per second, and at the bottom of the falls is 121 cubic feet per second. Whatever that means, I don't know, but essentially it's about the same flow, the same quantity of water, minus 2 cubic feet per second, which according to the DNR is really nothing. So then the other question is over the years, people have thrown debris into the Devil's Kettle. They have thrown ping pong balls in there with their phone numbers and addresses written in there over the years. And the question always was, where does this stuff go? Where does it come out? These ping pong balls never been found. So the DNR, what they are basically saying is that because there's so much pressure, and it's actually a spiral type of effect that happens in the Devil's Kettle, is that debris gets held in there, and they say that it's just basically exploding. It's just disintegrating the debris that's getting put in there. And what they have found is that the exit of the Devil's Kettle happens about 500 feet downstream, so they say. So then, of course, the next plan of action is to put dye, like a vegetable-based type of dye, into Devil's Kettle to be able to see where that dye comes out. So that was in 2017.
I think so. Yep.
Oh boy, fun. I know. Yeah, because we still have more hiking to do.
I think we should maybe do magnetic rock next.
Sure.
So like I did mention, there are a lot of stairs on this state park. Like I said, about 200 in all, and it was quite a bit easier going up than going down. And like I said, we did run into some people with some snowshoes. They were coming up and down these with their snowshoes as well, which again, have grips on the bottom or spikes, so they're not slipping around on this. So anyway, as far as what the DNR, the last I have read, what is it, 2019 here? The last I read is that they did not end up putting vegetable dye in the Devil's Kettle. So it's still kind of a mystery. I think they left it that way on purpose, to kind of leave that open to your imagination. So thanks for taking the time to check out this video. Hit subscribe on the bottom right. I do have some more North Shore videos coming out here over the next couple of weeks, so thanks for sticking around.
Ooh, burning calories. That's what the steps look like. Trying to get the steps going up on my feet, you know. Hoofda!
Get your body temperature down a little bit.
Us old people.
I just don't want to sweat.
I'm already starting to sweat. I am.